Just a heads up, people, there is not an amount of drugs that would make this movie any sort of normal to myself. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Studios, your home for reviews, reactions, and of course, ridiculousness. And welcome back. We are talking about a brand new Amazon Prime Video movie coming out very soon. It's an unusual one for sure, but it is called Annette. Henry, a stand-up comedian, falls in love with Anne, an opera singer, and with the birth of their first child, their lives are turned upside down. So is this new Annette musical drama movie going to scratch a bizarre but interesting itch that you have? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you thought of Annette. If you've already seen this, very much curious now, or I don't even know. Just let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, though, now let's get into some of the good. So straight up, people, Annette. I knew absolutely nothing, zero. I've seen the poster for this movie before watching this movie, so I was completely intrigued because this is essentially like a musical drama, almost rock opera throughout this movie that I had no clue what I was getting into. What I understand is the Sparks from the Sparks Brother documentary that came out earlier this year, they were in charge of, I believe, writing the script and doing the music here, and the music was a very interesting angle and something that was like the lifeblood of this Annette movie. And I think the music, or the instrumental parts of the music, absolutely drew me in. I mean, there are a few songs like the opening song and I think one of the closing ones that I was like, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm jiving with what the movie is trying to give me, but also the message that they're driving towards the audience, but also part of the story that is at hand. So I thought the music, instrumental, and then again a handful of songs in there very much worked for myself, very much setting this unique, interesting tone, because this movie is out there. This movie is bizarre, cuckoo cachoo, banana sandwiches type movie with the story that I'll get into later. But I thought that, yeah, the music definitely hits home, but the one thing that absolutely was the highlight of Annette is the performances. Adam Driver absolutely is fantastic in this movie. Again, he is this like weird, despicable, kind of experimental stand-up comedian, and the things that he is doing in these kind of longer shots of him on stage are so bizarre and weird, but then he is able to just kind of go throughout these motions of emotional into kind of sexualized into a despicable human, and then again into kind of remorse by the end of the movie, and he is hitting top bar on each of these emotions. The things that this character is going through is beyond me, and it just fits in with kind of the almost off the hinges story, but also tone of the movie that he is able to maintain course all throughout this. But also his co-lead, or I guess wife in the movie, is Marion Cotillard, and hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She is, again, their chemistry together I think works so well because it's yin and yang. It's these two different kind of flavors of good and bad, almost different sides of a coin that very much complement but butt heads throughout the movie. So again, Adam Driver, the chemistry, fantastic, but then her on her own throughout this movie. Adam Driver is more of the spotlight, and she is there complementing it because she doesn't have as much screen time, but I think when she is given that spotlight, she is turning in such a kind of innocence, kind of pure performance compared to his, again, just despicableness. And it's interesting where it goes, but I think the lifeblood, the main part, the reason that this movie really stuck with me, aside from the bizarre out there tone and story, is the performances. That was by far grade A acting from almost everyone. Again, they are the two main leads. They knocked it out of the park here. However, oh my goodness gracious, Annette. This is such a bizarre movie that I thought it would work for me, but it did not work at all. From just kind of the artistical vision to the story to the very much French influences, because my understanding is that the director is of French kind of filmmaking. His last film was like 2012, and there is a lot of almost creative choices in this movie that feel so kind of bizarre. At first, I thought maybe we're getting something a little bit unique, but it was so almost detracting from the story, the characters, the music, everything at hand really just tore me away from anything that the movie was trying to give me. And I'm like, wait a minute, what am I watching here? What exactly are these choices here of a lot of scenes of maybe driving down the road of one character, thinking about another character where it's half opacity over top, so you can see how these scenes are dually playing out. But it just, again, really, there was almost too much going on that detracted from a lot of kind of what I thought the main core of the movie was going to be. It's mind-boggling because the music, again, like I mentioned up front, is the main almost part of the film that is driving a lot of the dialogue and the story and whatnot. And I loved or really enjoyed instrumental parts of the music, but my biggest problem was I couldn't understand a single lyric of a lot of the music. And I don't know if it's the way that it was recorded. It could potentially have been the way that my film was streaming, but maybe the opening and closing songs, I got the sense of the lyrics and I got the emotional feel. A lot of the other bits was just these, again, rock opera or opera singing that was very loud, that was on key, but I did not understand what the character was trying to convey with their lyrics throughout the songs. Again, I had to kind of inference a lot of what the character was doing throughout the scenes and then match what I thought the song was meaning. That was the biggest thing, is just almost the sound or the recording of the lyrics was so poorly recorded that I couldn't understand a damn word. And really just rounding it out for myself negative-wise is the story in general. When you boil it down, it is a very kind of simple plot. You understand it. You know, these two different people that are from different worlds essentially come together in an unlikely partnership and have a child, and then it gets a little off the rails. But the way that it kind of fills that story out, again with the unique creative visions and the music and don't even get me started on the child. Absolutely baffling, weird, out there. Like, they went for a home run, and I personally think that it struck out a lot with the story and the way that the story kind of throws in these twists and turns and very much leading from beginning to end. Like, again, when you boil it down, it's fairly simple, but filling it out, it felt like it very much got convoluted, again, getting very almost confusing because I couldn't understand a lot of the lyrics, and it just honestly fell into the way of almost a train wreck by the end or middle of the film. It was almost as if the film in general was more art. Go with the flow with the art and enjoy it how it is, rather than the flow and consistency of the story. Because let me tell you, the way an interesting creative choice that they chose with the child in this movie, every single time that damn kid was on screen, I didn't understand or see anything else. It was me focusing on this wooden puppet of a child. It is goddamn Pinocchio mixed with nightmare fuel, people. Every single time that puppet was on screen, I don't care what else is happening. I am understanding or focused, laser focused on this fucking weird child. Overall, Annette, I think, is more of an interesting art piece than a movie in general, with it again being completely bizarre out there with some solid music or instrumental music and performances that I thought elevated this movie so high. However, with not understanding any of the lyrics because of the way the sound really balanced, it being very much more of an art piece than the story, and an absolutely, let me tell you, absolutely terrifying puppet animatronic child, I gotta say, skip out on Annette. Again, I enjoy out there weird musicals every now and then, but this was far too out there, drug on a little bit longer than I wanted, and I'm baffled. I am confused by this movie. In closing, I'm going to give Annette 2.5 out of 5. What the f did I just watch? Anyway, though, what did you think of Annette? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you very much intrigued by this? Or are you just as haunted by the creative baby choice as I am? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyway, though, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there or right over there. You know, brand new content every single week here on the JBuck Studios channel. I have no clue what is coming next, but be sure to stay up to date by everything. Following my social media down there, including my TikTok and YouTube Shorts channel. I'm doing a bunch of cool stuff over there, so please, please, please go give me a follow over there. like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and until next time, we'll see you later.